Hello, Year 6. Welcome to Monday's English lesson. We are in the last week of our remote learning. Hopefully, we will all be back together next Monday and ready to learn together. However, this week we've got 5 more English lessons, all based around Ruin, the video we were using last week. So today we're looking at writing a character flashback. I want you to be able to use all the senses to immerse the reader in a text, use figurative language to describe a setting, and use a range of sentence openers and vary your sentence structures. So, today's task, you will be writing a flashback to our character's previous life. We were introduced to an image of him from before the event in the last lesson, so that was Friday's lesson. I know Friday was sort of a no-screen Friday. If you did do the lesson, fantastic. If you didn't, you've got the picture, and the picture will prove just as useful, and I'll go through some of that today. So I want you to think about what is a flashback, and what can we learn from a character, about a character from our flashback. So a flashback is a sort of a switch back to a previous point in time. So in this film we're watching, we have a character who's in this ruined city, and a flashback would take us back to a time before the ruinous event, to what life was like before then. And we can learn a lot about the character from them. What has made this person the way they are today? What happened during the event that changed them from the person they were before? So this was the character who was introduced to you on Friday, if you did that lesson. And this is a picture of our character from before the event. What did you decide about him last time? How has he changed following the event? Now, if you look, you've actually got a picture here in the background of our character as he is now. You can see very, very different people, look very different visually, and also just acting very differently. The things they're getting up to. You imagine the person in the suit, business sort of person, possibly a family person, okay, very smartly dressed. And you compare that to the person on the motorbike, and it's a very different look. So quite clearly, this event has changed a lot for this person. So we're going to start with a little task, and I'd like you to join in as best you can. And we're going to do it an immersive task. So we really want you to get your idea about engaging the reader. So if you close your eyes, I'm going to read some sentences about this person's life, and I want you to imagine that you are this man. Put yourself in his shoes and role as him. And I'm going to read some sentences just about a life that this person was enjoying, if you like, before the apocalyptic event. So if you close your eyes and just listen to what I say. You are sitting at the kitchen table at home. Your family are there. You are happy. Life is good. Your partner is making breakfast. You can smell the food cooking on the hob. Your daughter is playing in a high chair. You smile gently at her. She laughs and begins to clap. You are proud of them and you feel full of joy. You chat to your partner about mundane day-to-day things. Okay, well, you can open your eyes again. So how did you find that? As the audience, could you really picture the scene? And do you think that everybody who has done that task pictured the same thing? I didn't give you a great deal of detail. I gave you very simple, very straightforward things. And the thing is, I didn't describe the room they were in. I didn't describe what the partner looked like or the child looked like, other than the fact that there was a daughter. I didn't describe what was cooking for breakfast. It just said you could smell the food cooking on the hob. Something was cooking, but what are you having? Some people might have had porridge. Some people might have had a fry-up. Okay, pancakes. What was being eaten for breakfast? And you can see that without that description, as much as the reader will picture things in their mind, it might not be what I intend them to picture. And that is really important as the writer, is we create that picture through our words. So we give them the detail. So we're going to look, before writing our own, at a waggle. And I'm going to read this to you. And if you have got a highlighter or a pencil or anything else, As we go through, try and see if you can highlight the different senses being used in the waggle. And can you find any examples of figurative language as well? Highlight or underline them. Okay. So if you grab your sheet for today's lesson, you will see on the back of that sheet it says flashback, and you've got a waggle written. So I'll read, and as I go through, see if you can spot the use of the different senses. I stand in the near darkness, staring at my reflection in the shattered mirror. My face no longer looks familiar. The person staring back at me is lost forever. I close my eyes and picture her standing next to me, her perfume washing over me like the warm ocean. I drink it in. She turns to look at me. Her smile, her beautiful smile, fills me with joy. How could I ever live without her? Sunshine pours through the windows of our kitchen and dances around the walls of our apartment. Life is good. It's been such a prosperous year, and it's only going to get better. Giggling in her high chair, Asuko is happily eating her breakfast. She's growing up so fast. She's our whole world. I ruffle the top of her hair, and she squeals in delight. I smile broadly to myself and turn to face my wife. But then the smile fades as the light stops playing on the walls, and the sound of laughter can no longer be heard. And I am here, alone, staring at the face I am meant to know in the shattered surface of the mirror. A broken mirror and a broken man. Now, if you think about that, you think about the perfume was one of the first things. I close my eyes and picture her standing next to me, so he's thinking of the image of her perfume, that's the smell straight away. Okay. The smile, beautiful as it is. Sunshine pours through, so it gives you an idea of how bright and light everything is. Okay. Life is good. It's about feelings filled with joy. Feeling again. How does it feel to be there? Giggling is the sound of Suko happily eating her breakfast. The giggling, the happy, positive noises. I ruffle the top of her hair. How does it feel? Feel to touch hair. And she squeals in delight against sound. I smile broadly to myself and turn to face my wife. So even within that very small section there, you can see how much description is in there. And it's very much about how it feels to be the character rather than exactly what is seen. The detail of what it looks like in the scene is less important than the feeling, the emotion. Okay. Figurative language, had perfume washing over me like the warm ocean. There's just one example. Okay. So, your job today is to use your own ideas, the waggle example, and the Dabwader sentence openers that we've looked at in the previous lessons, and write a vivid flashback for our character. If you can as well, try to introduce the scene just as we've seen in the waggle, okay? So if you look at the waggle very quickly once more. I stand in the near darkness staring at my reflection in the shattered mirror. We're not straight into a flashback. Very brief introduction, and if you want to magpie that introduction, that's absolutely fine. I close my eyes and picture her standing next to me. That would be a point. From that point onwards, go into your own writing. If you want to do your own introduction, fantastic, but if you're struggling with that idea, magpie what's there. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing the work when you send it through.